The countdown is on, and in just hours, entrepreneur Richard Branson hopes to become the first person to ride a self-funded rocket into suborbital space.
Astronaut 001, Richard Branson.
A launch nearly 2 decades in the making.
Tell me, how do you feel?
Well, I've managed to avoid getting excited for 17 years since we started building spaceships and motherships and spaceports and all these things. And I finally got the call from our chief engineer saying that every single box had been ticked on the safety aspect, and that I was, would I like to go to space? And I hit the roof. I was so excited.
The Virgin Galactic rocket-powered spaceplane is set to take off tomorrow from New Mexico. The mothership will release the spaceship at around 40,000 feet. The rocket will ignite and take Branson, 2 pilots, and 3 others on a 2,400-mile-per-hour ride, more than 50 miles up to touch the inner edge of space, as defined by the U.S. military and NASA. The crew will experience a few minutes of weightlessness before gliding back to Earth.
When you're up there, the spaceship will turn over, and these enormous windows, one's going to be able to float around and look back at Earth.
If successful, the Space Baron will edge out fellow billionaire and world's richest man Jeff Bezos, who is set to ride his own company's rocket into space in the coming days. The 2 men have jockeyed for the astronomical bragging rights that come with being first. Branson has insisted there's no space race with Bezos, and that the missions are different.
The kind of experience you're going to get with the two companies are almost as different as chalk and cheese. So we don't see ourselves as a direct competitor.
2, 1.
While Bezos' flight will be after Branson's, his rocket system New Shepard will go even higher, past the Kármán line, which is the altitude internationally recognized to be the demarcation of space. His company Blue Origin taking a shot at Branson's trip, tweeting their rocket was, quote, designed to fly above the Kármán line, so none of our astronauts have an asterisk next to their name.
If you fly 50 miles or 62 miles, you're in space. I mean, you're not going to notice the difference between those 12 miles. Neither of these vehicles go into orbit, by the way. They touch space and then they come right back down.
Both space companies have had successful suborbital test flights over the past decade. But with space travel comes inherent risk. In 2014, a co-pilot for Virgin Galactic was killed during a test flight of a previous model of their spacecraft.
I like to say that you can do risky things safely if you know the risks you're taking, you know the controls you have in place, and you verify that they are active. And we do just that. I don't think the risk of this flight is high. It's not zero.
2, 1, 0, and liftoff.
In the 10 years since the launch of Atlantis, NASA's final space shuttle mission, the privatization of spaceflight has quickly expanded. Today, the commercial aerospace company SpaceX, founded by yet another billionaire, Elon Musk, regularly takes NASA astronauts and supplies into orbit at a fraction of the cost of the space shuttle. So far, NASA has been supportive of the billionaire's endeavors, especially after the successes of SpaceX.
We are seeing the result of these billionaires that you call them putting their wealth into the research and development of a space program. We're seeing a lot of advancing of technology, which is good for our country. It's good for building American jobs as well.
If tomorrow's mission is successful, it could launch yet a new era of space travel, and the final frontier could soon open to space tourism. So far, hundreds of people have signed up for future Virgin Galactic flights, some paying more than $200,000 each. Branson hopes that someday will be soon.
I've had to wait almost a lifetime to be able to go into space. Hopefully we can speed that process up for many, many others.
$1 million view.